Plastic pollution is a widespread problem affecting the marine environment. It threatens ocean health, the health of marine species, food safety and quality, human health, coastal tourism, and contributes to climate change. Marine pollution was one of the main issues addressed at the UN Ocean Conference in 2022, and it's now a major threat to marine and human life. During the last few decades, scientists have been evaluating the impact of these pollutants on the marine environment, and the conclusions are not so pleasant, especially for the future. What many don't know is that the survival of humanity on Earth is directly linked to the conditions of our oceans and their water currents. Our oceans produce half of the available oxygen, and they also regulate climate conditions, absorb large amounts of carbon dioxide, and provide food for millions of people. And that's what we should focus on. We can still save the ocean. Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is George Jacob, just graduated in marine biology, and my intention here is to bring more content about my specialty. That way, I'm making this collection of video inspired on the UN Ocean Conference that happened in 2022. And if you don't know about it, you can subscribe to my channel and get more content about it. It was very important to make us think about the future of the planet, especially here on the oceans. Remembering that this channel grew up without any financial help, so if you like it or think it's important for others to know, you can help me by subscribing to my channel, or you can give me a like or whatever you want to do, and I will be very grateful. In this way, in a series of 7 videos, we will address 7 main points highlighted at the conference. So today, let's talk about marine pollution. I will start by telling you that the story of the great villain here, the plastic, begins almost in the middle of the 19th century, created by John Wesley Hyatt for a very generous offer to anyone who could replace ivory. In other words, a great excuse to end the killing of wild elephants. And that was revolutionary. Just imagine, plastics could protect the natural world from the destructive force of human need. The first synthetic plastic, Bakelite, was produced in 1907, marking the beginning of the global plastics industry. However, rapid growth in global plastic production was not realized until 1950s. Over the next 70 years, annual production of plastics increased nearly 230-fold to 460 million tons in 2019. As they say, good things must come to an end, the unblemished optimism about plastic didn't last. Plastic debris in the oceans was first observed in the 1960s, a decade in which Americans became increasingly aware of environmental problems, marking a period where plastics were no longer seen as unambiguously positive. Rachel Carson's 1962 book, Silent Spring, exposed the dangers of chemical pesticide. By the way, very good and a great mark for biology's history. After that episode, an oil spill occurred off the California coast and the polluted Cuyahoga River in Ohio caught fire, raising concerns about pollution. And you can imagine the rest. As awareness about environmental issues spread, the persistence of plastic waste began to trouble observers. Time passes by, plastic became a special target because while so many plastic products are disposable, plastics last forever in the environment. It was the plastics industry that offered recycling as a solution. Contradiction, no? However, recycling is far from perfect, and most plastics still end up in landfills or in the environment, especially here in the ocean. Just for you to visualize, today we have as the ultimate symbol of the problem of plastic waste the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which has often been described as a swirl of plastic garbage the size of Texas, floating in the Pacific Ocean. Considered the world's largest ocean garbage reserve with 1.8 trillion pieces of floating plastic that kill thousands of marine animals between California and Hawaii. The problem here is that even though we have seen many problems relating plastic and the ocean for several decades, it does not seem that we are trying to deal with it. Quite the contrary, the world keeps producing more and more of plastic. The chart shows the increase of global plastic production, measured in tons per year from 1950 onwards. In 1950, the world produced only 2 million tons per year. Since then, annual production has increased nearly 230-fold, reaching 460 million tons in 2019. And this one basically shows that by 2019, the world had produced 9.5 billion tons of plastic, more than 1 ton of plastic for every person alive today. And I don't want to look gossip or anything like that, but look at this map that shows the plastic waste emitted to the ocean per capita in 12 and 19. It's clear we have to call the attention about the marine pollution, especially to developing countries. Plastic debris is currently the most abundant type of litter in the ocean, making up 80% of all marine debris found from surface waters to deep sea sediments. Plastic is found on the shorelines of every continent, with more plastic waste found near popular tourist destinations and densely populated areas. The main source of plastic debris found in the ocean are land-based. Coming from urban and stormwater runoff, several overflows, littering, inadequate waste disposal and management, industrial activities, tire abrasion, construction, and illegal dumping. Ocean-based plastic pollution originates also from the fishing industry, nautical activities, and aquaculture. We cannot forget the impact of the fisheries to the ocean. Under the influence of solar UV radiation, wind, currents, and other natural factors, plastic breaks down into small particles called microplastics or nanoplastics. The small size makes them easy for marine life to ingest accidentally, which can be very harmful even for you, cowboy. But I'm gonna talk more about it later. Okay, I think I've talked a lot about this current scenario about marine pollution. So you can ask me, but George, what's the impact of this marine pollution on marine life? For you to better understand in practice, here we have a series of impacts of these contaminants in the environment. Please do not panic. Number 1. Impacts on marine ecosystems. The most visible impacts of plastic debris are the ingestion, suffocation, and entanglement of hundreds of marine species. Marine wildlife such as seabirds, whales, fish, and turtles mistake plastic waste for prey. Most then die of starvation as their stomachs become filled with plastic. They also suffer from lacerations, infections, reduced ability to swim, and internal injuries. Floating plastics also help transport invasive marine species, thereby threatening marine biodiversity and the food web. 2. Impacts on food and marine health. The reputation of plastics had suffered further thanks to a growing concern about the potential threat they pose to human health. These concerns focus on additives that go into plastics during the manufacturing process, making them more flexible, durable, and transparent. Some scientists and members of the public are concerned about evidence that these chemicals leach out of plastics and into our food, water, and bodies. In very high doses, these chemicals can disrupt the endocrine or hormonal system. Researchers worry particularly about the effects of these chemicals on children and what continued accumulation means for the future generations. 3. Impacts on tourism. Plastic waste damages the aesthetic value of tourism destinations, leading to decreased income from tourism. It also generates major economic costs related to the cleaning and maintenance of the sites. The buildup of plastic litter on beaches can have a negative impact on a country's economy, wildlife, and the physical and psychological well-being of people. And 4. Impacts on climate change. Plastic production contributes to climate change. If plastic waste is incinerated, like a lot of people like to do, it releases carbon dioxide and methane from landfills into the atmosphere, thereby increasing emissions. This is really a big thing, right? But not everything is bad. There's a lot of things that we can do to change this scenario. That's why I want you to think about what do you expect from the future? Why you think I present you how we should use the plastic, from the worst use to the best use. Efforts should be made to adhere to and strengthen existing international legislative frameworks that address marine plastic pollution. A lot of them happened before, and some are happening now. By the way, that was my inspiration to create this video for YouTube. Regional and national governments should also explore national legislative frameworks on extended producer responsibility. These are emerging as innovative, low-cost solutions as are policies to promote circular economies. Governments, research institutions, and industry needs to work in collaboration to redesign products and rethink their use and disposal to reduce microplastic waste from pellets, synthetic textile, and tires. Consumers and society must shift to more sustainable consumption patterns. This will require solutions which go beyond waste management and consider the whole life cycle of plastic products, from design to infrastructure and household use. And that's it for today, my friend. I hope you like it. If you are curious, I will put all my references down in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to receive more content about it if you like it. And thanks for watching this video, and see you another one. Bye.